Get out of there. Knock it off. Can't you see the man built this? What have you built?
She didn't give a shit.
Oh, you don't give a shit.
You don't care about
Just like his ex. I don't
You don't care about anything.
So when did we start?
You can start now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
That's good. Good way to start.
You should start 10 minutes ago. Welcome me to your fort.
Kevin White in the fort.
Hey.
Hey, White.
Man, I'm so excited about this.
I'm so excited
Let
to
me-
be here.
I feel like I need to explain why I'm so into this. I don't even know if I need to explain it.
Yeah, no, 'cause you were really excited about it when you found out about it, and that was cool. So yeah, is there a reason?
I'm super into heartbreak, I think.
That's nice.
No, that sounds weird. I've been through my fair share of breakups. Like, one of my really good friends, his name's Aaron, he lives in Austin. Aaron Brooks, funny guy. He made the joke once that if, like, me and my friends were like in a sitcom, I'd be the guy always going through a breakup.
Yeah.
I'm just always getting dumped. And so, when I heard what you were doing, it was like such a cool, creative, positive way to deal with your time, because your instinct is to just lay in bed,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
and
I
watch High Fidelity, like
Yeah.
watch that movie and listen to sad songs. So when you were doing something, it just really got me excited. Plus, I think a sad man in a fort is hilarious.
Yeah, it's the funniest. It's the funniest bit of comedy that I wrote for myself.
Yeah. So,
So
I just thought it was great. It was a good way to turn it on its head. This is like a very, like, not as empowering, but like, this is like your own twisted nerd way of I will survive. Like, I'll make a fort.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm getting through this.
That'll be fine. I don't need
Right.
you.
I'll be alright. I got 4 walls made out of sheets.
So,
I'm
yeah.
living. Yeah.
Or if you get really depressed and kill yourself, they get to find you in a fort, which
Right.
is still great.
It'd be like a horror movie. There'd just be a bunch of flies like all
Yeah.
over the outside of the fort.
The neighbors smelled something awful, and
It smelled like flies at a thrift store.
yeah, and then they came in and it was a dead man.
Oh no. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. But
Well, okay, way to not rule it out.
way to not rule my suicide out.
Yeah. Let's pass those Pringles.
Yeah, man.
We got some chippies and
Got
some.
some Pringles. If you want to send some Pringles to the fort, I'm not above chilling.
Some Pringy babies.
Yeah, I love those Pringles.
Some Pring daddies.
Pringles.
So how
Pringles.
have you been, man? Who dumped who? Let's talk about it.
I've been good. She dumped me.
Good.
I was
Not good. I'm sorry.
Fantastic.
I just made it goes. I talked about getting dumped. If you spent your whole time like, man, I dropped her like a bad habit.
That would be kind of weird if I dumped her and built a fort. Like,
Yeah, this is like a weird bastion of like, I don't need anyone.
like a little kid bachelor.
No.
A little kid womanizer. Yeah, she did the dumping. She just decided that she didn't want to keep it going, and then which is I've said it before. I can't be mad at her for it. Some people just you just want to be happy, and sometimes that involves not being with another person. And
Was it unexpected, or was it kind of?
I would say, there were a few there were multiple times towards the end where I think she had talked about it.
You were just like, I really don't like this other guy. She's fucking something's
Oh,
weird.
no. Oh Jesus!
Something's weird about that dude.
That's real weird.
It was kind of things were off.
Yeah, and then like the weekend that it happened, it kind of happened over the span of a weekend. So it was kind of like she was just acting stranger, and then kind of by that Saturday night, I knew it was probably going to happen. And then we woke up Sunday morning, and it just kind of happened. And then she left. She took some of her stuff to her friend's house and left. And then I was here for a couple of weeks with all her stuff. And then when I knew that she was gonna come take her stuff, which includes our bed, because our
I'm trying to eat
TV.
this so quietly.
So I like her.
You started joking.
That's all I had.
And then I go, it was suicide, but leave the camera.
You saw it.
You all saw it.
You saw it. You went for it. You didn't even bite it. Yeah, so she just she took the bed and everything, and when I knew that she was going to take the bed, I was just kind of, the couple nights before it, I was like, what if I just built a fort in the living room? Because I was like, I'm going to have to sleep on the couch for a while until I get a new bed. So I was like, why don't I just make a fort around it? Because that'll be fun.
Yeah,
and
well, plus, like I said, I don't know if there's any, if I was accurate at all, but I said that the empty bedroom's like it's haunted with her ghost. Like if you get a bed, you're not. Are you moving into that room or?
No.
You said the other room, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to step foot in there.
No, it's not.
Just block it off. It's full of ghosts.
Actually, the like first night I was in the fort, I was going to film my first video, and I swore that I started hearing noises, and then I was like, God damn it, my apartment's haunted. And like they waited until she left to come get me, all the ghosts and shit. Like I was actually angry at her for leaving me alone in this haunted house.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, son of a bitch.
Look, I'm not asking you to get back together with me, but
there are ghosts here.
you help me deal with these ghosts.
Yeah. We all know the benefits of dating a Ghostbuster, so you need to come back. I was dating a Ghostbuster. So no, I'm moving into the room that was my office just because I have a lot of my shit hanging up in there and stuff. So I just looked at it out of convenience.
Sure.
But I was asking, I'm gonna interview you because you're. No.
Oh yeah, I'm the guest.
No, I like that. Thank you. So you said you get dumped. You got dumped a lot. What's like?
Not to say it wasn't my fault.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of this was my fault.
I've had a lot of awesome girlfriends who, I wasn't ready to date them. You know what I mean? I was just such like a selfish idiot, like just doing dumb stuff, just not good at pulling my weight, like emotionally, or, I mean, every case is different, but it's not until recent years, let's say recent months, that I've really evaluated, like, oh, you know what? This isn't everybody else's fault. I'm just a shitty boyfriend. So yeah, there's some major breakups I don't know.
Was there one in particular you want to talk about?
That I want to talk about? No.
What's your favorite breakup story?
No, it's Jesus. They've all been traumatic in their own way. And there are things that like seem like breakups at the time, and then looking back, it's like, oh, like she clearly was that was self-preservation. I couldn't have dated me when I was being like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. To ask me a more specific question.
All right. What was the worst breakup you had?
Okay. Jesus. I gotta decide how in depth I want to go here.
However you want to do it.
I actually talked about this at a Comedy Secrets. Stephanie Haas's show at the Hungry Brain.
Shout out.
And yeah, fantastic show. We are sworn to secrecy when we do that show. You just got bit by a cat. Get out of here, cat. There's a good palate cleanser. Get in here, cat. But how do I sum this up without getting too sad? So me and this girl lived together. We were together for like 4 years, and within the span of a year, my dad died, and so my dad died. Him dying kind of made me just kind of spiral out of control. So I was living with this girl. This poor girl had to put up with me acting out, just partying, drinking, not coming home, and just doing God knows what, just because I was unhappy and too immature to like really deal with my feelings. And she was great. She cared about me and loved me and everything, and I was just like, fuck the world, you know. So I put her through a lot, and I still feel really awful about how that went down. You can bring the cat.
She's just trying to fight me. Hey, you need to knock it off, all right?
Yeah, just give him some attention.
She's been in like every video because she has to interrupt.
Let her hang.
You gotta interrupt. Stop interrupting, bro.
You're good. Hey.
Your Uncle Kevin wants you to knock it off.
What's up?
Alright.
Anyway, so dating this girl, dad dies. I started being a garbage boyfriend, and I actually wound up cheating on her. I got like yeah, I know. Thanks. I'm still, not proud of it. I do not condone it. It's like my one big regret in life.
Yeah.
So I did that because I was, like I said, just drunk constantly, and I was drunk when that happened, and I really let myself go. I had like a fat year, you know what I mean? So it's more about you just want like attention. So anyway, she found out that I had cheated on her and broke up with me. Me and her lived together. She kicked me out. So let's see where we're at. Dad dies. Girlfriend breaks up with me. Kicks me out, so I'm homeless. Okay. I'm super bummed. So like it affected my performance at work. So like a couple weeks later, I get fired. What else? And my dog died too.
What?
That was later.
Sorry, I mean...
The dog went to live with her, and then I think maybe like 6 months later, the dog died. But I just had this awful year.
Wow.
I say I lived a country song.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's like...
Yeah. And actually, I dated a girl after her. Pretty... It's weird. This girl... Me and her got along super great too, and the reason that relationship didn't work out, we were together for like 8 or 9 months, that relationship didn't work out because instead of dealing with this awful year and respecting the ex and dealing with that and talking to her and communicating and stuff like that and things that you're supposed to do as an adult,
right.
I just like, alright, ignored everything and just kept being super selfish with this new girl's feelings and stuff. What wound up happening was two girls, the ex and the girl after. I can say their names, right? Should I say their names? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if they'll see this. I'd feel weird about it. Anyway, let's girl A and
Girl A, Girl B. Girl A is the first girlfriend.
Yeah, the one I lived with. Girl B is the girl after who. Wasn't a rebound because she's fantastic. I would date her today. Like she's just like super cool.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not.
Was this in St. Louis or Chicago?
It was in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you date a rebound and it's like, what was I thinking? No, this girl's like super cool. Like they're both like the best people that I've ever had the privilege of hanging out with. They're so awesome. But anyway, there's a knock on my door. And girl A's there, and I'm like, oh hey. What are you doing here? She walks in, and right behind her is girl B. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And they actually, this is how cool they are. You think it's going to be some, you suck, we hate you talk. It was a very positive, like, we're not going to keep doing this shit that you're putting us through, but we care about you enough to give you, like, a pep talk. You know what I mean? And they were so supportive and so sweet, and...
That's amazing.
Yeah, I still talk to girl B. Girl A wants nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's really cool. Like, so I've had fortunate stuff like that, and I've just completely taken it for granted for like way too long.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking like with kind of cutting off and not dealing with the emotions from the first one. Like I had a similar where I had a almost 4-year relationship before this one that I just got out of.
Yeah.
When I still lived on the south side and I was engaged.
Oh yeah.
And when that broke off, I refused to talk. I still have never talked to her.
Jeez.
I mean, I said no. I will say this: I did talk to her once, and it was because she became a nurse at the hospital where my grandfather passed away at, and she messaged me on like Facebook after he passed away to say that she was sorry, and she called him the nickname that we call my grandpa, and I was so shitty. I said like, don't call him that. He's not your grandpa. Ugh. Like I still feel like such an asshole for doing that.
Yeah.
But I think it was just because like it was like the scars of it, like that. I could say that I felt a lot more like I felt more terrible about that breakup than my current one, because I think my current one kind of ended, and I kind of like accepted that it was going to end,
right?
You know, versus the other one, it was like the rug was pulled from under me. So yeah, I get that kind of. That's why I've been really. I've been talking to my current ex like a lot since we've broken up. Like, you know, she's been really great. Mm-hmm. But what's your go-to for like coping? I know we're eating some chips right now in Fort. What's your go-to? What's your go-to for like? Is it?
I'm one of those guys who is like drunk for 4 months.
I was,
you know,
I was the same way after the last one.
So when the big breakup happened, the girl I lived with, she kicked me out, and my buddy, his name's Nick, he's like my best friend. He had a spare room in his house. He let me move in. He gave me a place to stay. He gave me a copy of the book High Fidelity.
Oh yeah, I sold it.
And was like, here. I was gonna bring it over, and then I forgot I had to give it back to him when I moved to Chicago because it wasn't actually my book. But I was gonna be like, here, read this. It's just, you know, and I know it's like, you're like a pop culture nerd and stuff, time. So it's just all. I think it's great just because it's a breakup book or movie from a guy's point of view that's really accurate.
Right.
They don't. Like I think a lot of breakup movies are like romanticized, and that like the girl's upset, and then some new guy comes in, and he's awesome, and everything's okay. High Fidelity, like the main character, John Cusack's character, he's very flawed. He's selfish. He's self-centered.
He admits he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. Yeah. Well, he sleeps with Marita Sal, the girl everybody has a crush on, you know, and then the second he walks out of her apartment the next morning, he's like, now who's this girl who's this guy my ex-girlfriend's fucking? What fucking Ian guy, right? That whole thing? Yeah, I just love it. Yeah. I just love it because it makes me feel good to, like, it reminds me of, like, okay, I'm having a lot of irrational, dumb thoughts. And also that's normal, so that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. And it's something, I've just, you know, it's just one of my favorite movies. I've probably seen it like a dozen times.
I love that movie so just, like, everything about that movie, just everything that they talk about, and then setting it in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Everything is so, to me.
When I moved here, the first thing I did was I went to the record store.
I know, and it's fucking...
it's boarded up.
It's a fucking wall.
I know.
It's a shitty Nick's beer garden.
But you look at it, though, there is this odd familiarity. Like, I've been here before.
Yeah. I don't know how no one has bought that. I mean, I know Reckless is right there, but like...
Why doesn't Reckless move there, though?
Or,
they would make such a killing just being the place. Like, you get tourists.
Or I don't know how anybody hasn't, like, bought it and made it championship final, you know?
Maybe it was at one point. It's got to be boarded up for some reason.
Yeah. But,
there has to be some history about that space.
Oh, yeah. But, I like... Because in that movie, too, you're seeing, like, the different stages of... you're seeing like the irrational anger that you have, you know, him screaming at her out the window and stuff, and all that, and then you get that introspective where he's like, where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
You know, not just in my relationship, but in my life. Like, at what point did I start fucking up with women, and like start this kind of spot, like, or this circle of just constantly doing the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And and really though, like coming up with the Ford idea, that idea of him going and looking back at all of his relationships and turning it into this like experiment in a way of where he's like, I got to get closure on all of these things. That kind of inspired me because instead of wallowing, I've been trying to figure it out and try to fix myself.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. I'm trying to be more mature. After the so I was living with a girl in Chicago and we broke up, and as that was coming to an end, I called girl B. She lives in Colorado now, and I was like, hey, I'm just, I didn't ask her like the High Fidelity question, like why did you dump me? I know why she dumped me, but it was just like, I'm having a hard time just like doing things responsibly. And she was like, she gave me this really great talk, without going into detail, just about how you're gonna keep making the same mistakes over and over unless you man the fuck up.
Right.
And it was really great, and it's something I'm still working on, but I'm getting better at. You know, it's really hard to be a man child.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
given our, well, maybe not. I don't know if it's, you know, like the High Fidelity was made in like the 90s, but it's more and more accepted to like hold on to your toys and comic books as you get older,
right.
instead of like in the 50s where it's like, get a job.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, it might not make for the most progressive or the most mature. What am I saying here? Might not make as much of a man of you.
Right. Yeah. Being
by now as you should be.
Yeah, I mean, I can look right now and see the Batman figure from right here. But,
yeah, it's so sad.
But like with her, like, but she was always cool with that, with my pop culture obsession, because she's
not that they wouldn't be cool with it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know,
holding on to childish stuff is more and more.
You know the Toys R Us theme song from your kid?
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up.
Yeah.
Alright? You should grow the fuck up. That's something you're not told.
Stop hanging out with a giraffe and grow the fuck up.
Yeah. So, how old are you?
27.
Okay, I'm 28, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're learning this way too late in life. We
Yeah.
should have been doing this, like, I don't know, 23 to 25, not 27 to 30.
Well, the problem with I think what I've had is because my entire 20s, I was single for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the girl I was engaged to, I dated her from the time I was 19 until I was like 22.
Yeah.
Or 23, and then moved up here, and then I was single for about a year and a half, and then I met the girl that I just broke up with. So, like, I didn't really have that, you know.
I'm
like,
the same way. I've always dated people.
Right. Yeah. I've never been well, I guess I don't know, because like, you know, like I've only had 2 major relationships in the time when you have your major relationships, but yeah, I guess I didn't really get that time because after the first ex that broke up with me and I moved up here, I was just like, I had this stupid idea of what a single guy should be, because I didn't have that, because I basically went from I went from high school basically to like 1 year of community college and then dating this girl and then being with her and getting ready to be married and all this shit, you know. So like I didn't have that, like I didn't learn early on like a mature relationship,
right?
You know, it was just kind of like I had this idea of like how I should date this girl and get married and whatever, and then I went from that to having this idea of what a single guy in his 20s is, you know. So then I was acting like a total dipshit,
right?
You know, and I think I hurt a lot of girls' feelings in that time between, and so like meeting my ex kind of put me back into that comfort zone. And I mean, I definitely grew. This was definitely a way more healthier relationship than the one before. Like I don't regret anything about the relationship that just ended, because like I learned a lot from her. It was just that maybe I didn't learn as fast as you know I should have.
Yeah.
But no, I get what.
Yeah. So here we are. We're gonna figure it out, and if not every girl in Chicago or the world gets married, we'll be okay.
I think we'll be. We're gonna do it. What's your breakup song?
I was just gonna ask you that. Oh fuck. Well, there's a lot. It depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes you're mad. Sometimes you want to feel sorry for yourself. Sometimes you want to feel like you fucked up. So, what are some good ones? I can give a list. Just real quick. It's off the top of my head. Okay. Let's say. Oh no, I'm blanking. No. Okay, you go. You got one.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm thinking.
What have you been listening to a lot this time around?
I've been listening to the Wonder Years. So I listen to. I
love the Wonder
Years.
Yeah,
I listen to a lot of like pop punk stuff, just because it's like. I finally get to listen to them while I'm sad, versus just listening to them just because I like them. I'm actually like listening and like connecting to that stuff. And like I've been going back and listening to like old Punchline albums and stuff.
What songs though?
Let's see, the whole Upsides album from Wonder Years. So I'm trying to think of crap. Shit. We're the worst. Woke Up Older is a good song from Wonder Years. Yeah, that's a good one. Because he's just totally, at least it sounds like he's talking about just like just shitting the bed in a relationship, and then also thinking like old like Promise. I have this weird like connection with the Promise Ring and my old ex. Yeah. Because like not all of those songs are necessarily sad. They're just it's like one of those things where you kind of like look back and you think of like happier stuff. So I think of like Happiness Is All the Rage and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like I'm like oh okay I can connect to like a happier time with that song. And then I'm trying to think like
I got a couple. I just remember the names. Fake Problems, Heartless.
Okay.
That's a really god damn. I'm struggling to.
You're gonna have your suicide.
Yeah. Fake Problems, Heartless. That's really great. There's a really good Pink Couch sessions of the lead singer. I forget his name. Of him doing it. Where like at the end he looks like he's like gonna cry.
Oh shit.
It's so good. Check that out. Frank Turner, Substitute. Do you know? You like Frank Turner? You fuck with Frank Turner? Love Iron song? That's a great
Frank Turner.
Heartless is such a good song too. And you mentioned this isn't about girls or nothing, but you mentioned the Wonder Years passing through a screen door on the new album.
Yeah.
That song totally. Have you heard the new one, Greatest Generation?
I've been listening to it a ton, but not as much as I've been listening to like.
There's a song passing through a screen door that makes me feel like where I'm going with my comedy career.
Yeah.
And like it's just talking about how like tired he is from the road and like his friends are having kids and getting married and he's like, did I make a huge mistake by trying to do this crazy thing? And
yeah, that's how I actually felt the same way with Came Out Swinging.
Came Out Swinging is the exact same way.
Because I listened to because I thought I think about like
Came Out Swinging is a great one to listen to because me and Zach, he's gonna come in here.
Yeah.
Like I go on the road a lot. It's always with Zach, I think, usually with Zach. But that's always how I feel whenever we're driving back after like a week somewhere, and he's just talking about how tired he is and sick of fast food and missing.
Yeah, because I've been thinking too about like really in the back half of our relationship was when I had gotten back into stand-up, and she really supported me getting into it and taking it seriously more than I did before, and so I felt that like where I spent this past year. Like where like I was not 100% there for her, you know. I feel like because I was dedicating as much time as I could, but at the same time trying to dedicate as much time to our relationship. Yeah, and I'm sure that had a strain on it. As much as she supported it and told me that she wanted me to keep doing it and to do it as much as I could, I know that I was definitely not there as much as I should have been.
Yeah, of course.
And so like that song's really connected because I'm just exactly. I'm putting it into like that idea, the same terms of comedy as music, is just that it's hard to dedicate yourself to something like this and be there emotionally and physically, just be there for somebody. It's a really hard thing to balance.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. How are you on time? I saw you check your timer.
Because I was actually going to pull up to see like what other songs I've been listening to. No, I think we can keep going.
Are we? Oh, okay.
I mean, we can. There's no set time.
Oh, okay.
We can just keep. Yeah, we can keep. So going back to like High Fidelity, what are some other like some other movies you throw on? Is that like High Fidelity?
Let's put that on repeat.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, dude. That movie. Oh yeah, I love Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. But I don't think of it as like a sad thing as much. I just love that movie.
Yeah.
But Eternal Sunshine always makes me cry every time. That scene when they're like in the blankets.
Yeah.
And she starts like sliding away, and he's like, "Oh, let me keep this one memory."
Yeah.
Every time I crack, I can't help it.
Yeah. That movie just has it boiled down.
Jesus.
It's like they just found this fantastical way to
Yeah.
like boil down exactly what it is to like.
It's a great. I mean, everything
Yeah.
came together. I mean,
It's so good.
Sean Connery with Kaufman. God, what's his name?
Charlie Kaufman.
Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah, Charlie Kaufman.
Perfect
Yeah.
match. What else? What else is it? Love Me If You Dare is a really good movie. It's this French film. Definitely check it out.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It's about this boy and this girl that start a game of like they're daring each other to do things back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And as they get older, they fall in love, but they're not taking the love seriously. They turn it into the game, and so they're always having this back and forth of like, you just want to quit fucking around and get together. And
Yeah.
then at the end, I won't give away the ending, but they decide to just really kind of go all in with sweet/tragic results.
Oh shit.
So it's really good.
I gotta check that out. That sounds awesome.
It's super good. It's one of my favorite movies. You?
Yeah. Jurassic Park.
Right?
Yeah, you know,
Jeff
just,
Goldblum's laugh.
just yeah, that
Ugh.
and his slice, you know, it's just just continuous.
He's just hanging out.
The movie goes
Hey.
on, just like look at me glisten.
Yeah. Why are you so sweaty?
You
Posted
know-
up constantly.
It's so weird too because no other Jeff Goldblum movie besides maybe The Fly,
The Fly.
do you ever focus
Definitely
on
The
his
Fly.
chest and
Yeah.
like dude's got a pretty fucking
He's got a
sculpted
rockin'
chest.
bod.
Yeah, it's so weird. This is how we cope with our relationships
Mm-hmm.
with talking about Jeff Goldblum's rockin' bod.
Rockin'
But yeah,
bod.
even like I just saw Grand Budapest Hotel and I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, there's no way that this dude has that fucking chest.
He's
I mean,
so scrawny.
he probably doesn't anymore, but like you know, 'cause he's probably like his late 50s now. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's fucking Jeff Goldblum's rockin' bod.
Yeah, some movies he looks super thin and scrawny and weird. But the beefcake that's in The Fly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, another good one's been that. I mean, and the comic books like Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah?
Well, because Scott Pilgrim, you're like it's.
I never read the comics.
They're awesome. The movie's really good though. Like, I love Edgar Wright, and I think that he handled it the best and was able to condense 6 books into
Yeah.
one movie. Like I actually like the way the movie ends better than the series ended.
Okay.
But it's just basically this giant metaphor for like fighting, like the person that you love's like past, because you're always you're always jealous of that. I'll even like with my ex, you know, every once in a while she would bring up something about like her past relationships and stuff, and I would get really angry.
Yeah.
With so it's like the movie's basically about.
It's weird too because you don't want to be a baby. You're like,
You're like,
look,
let shit
I don't
happen.
want to seem like a total wuss.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of weird you talk to your ex.
Yeah, like she
And
doesn't
they're or like whatever.
Yeah, she didn't talk to any of her exes, but every once in a while she would kind of bring something up, and it would just be like I would get irrationally.
Don't compare my cooking to his. Well,
Well, I would get
it's
like
always something so stupid.
right. I would get irrationally jealous about
Yeah.
something that I wasn't even there for. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even know she existed when this was happening. So like,
Oh yeah.
but that's kind of like Scott Pilgrim is like you're fighting that like past. It's like, but he's like physically fighting this woman's past. So like,
I never thought of it that way, but that's good. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you've been to this restaurant? Well, I was kind of hoping the first time we go to this restaurant, you hadn't been here before. Okay.
Oh.
What was like your spot or something?
Is this where you guys like
Take me home.
Is this where you held your hand?
Yeah.
Right here on this table.
You make me sick for having met someone before me.
Push the salt shaker. It's bullshit.
That's hilarious. I was gonna ask you something about Scott Pilgrim. Oh, I've watched that movie with 2 different girls that I was kind of involved in, and there's always a part where they have like that big fight, and in my mind, she's in the wrong. And the girl I'm with always says that he's in the wrong.
Which fight?
There's like some big. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there's like some big fight, and he's like, "Ugh, can't believe I have to fight your exes. This is bullshit." And he's like, gone.
Oh yeah.
And I always watch that scene like, right? And they're like, he's being a baby.
Well, because she does play it very blasé.
Yeah.
The whole thing that he has to.
He could have died.
Yeah, like 6 people are trying to murder him.
Yeah, and then after the fight, he's like, oh, okay, I'm still alive. And she's like,
Yeah.
it's fighting, stupid.
Right.
What? He's getting attacked.
Yeah, maybe that's a message of like, don't just date a girl because you think she's cool.
No, I don't know. I like to talk to a girl more in depth about that movie and how they translate it.
That's an interesting point.
Have you had a girl on this show yet?
No, I'm going to though soon.
Who?
I know I got Fran Hoffner's coming soon, and then I think I'm gonna have Danny Gallegos is gonna be on.
Cool.
And then I'm supposed to do a FaceTime interview with Lane Moore from The Onion.
Oh, cool.
So I definitely am gonna have some girls. I realize like this whole week's been all dudes. It's just been kind of shit. The way that damn, I got cheese in my Misfits shirt.
That's so punk rock.
It's so I know. It's just kind of the way scheduling worked out. But I definitely do want to have some girls on to kind of get there, because I didn't want it just to come across as like, man, don't girls suck. Like, what's up with girls? You know, but like it's just kind of like
the first week can be all dudes. You got to ease into it.
Yeah. But no, I do want to hear some women's opinions on it too, just because I mean I'm sure that they go through the same thing with relationships too. I mean I know guys generally act like assholes more than girls do in relationships, but more irrational. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm living in a fort.
That's a pretty broad. I think everybody's different.
Yeah.
Take your time. I'll wait for the chip to finish for you. Now, have you ever done the breaking up?
No. That's the thing. So sometimes I look back and think I cursed myself because the first two relationships I ever had, like I was in like high school, the first two girlfriends I ever had, I broke up with them.
Oh, really?
And then from there on, it's always been, whether it's been a girlfriend or like a girl I was seeing, it's always been them that broke it off.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I feel like sometimes I curse myself for acting like a little asshole when I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to touch some boobs. Like, but I can't. You're not letting me. Yeah.
I'm glad you learned your lesson.
I did.
Now you hang on to every relationship.
Yeah.
Until it just
until it implodes.
Fades out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just wait it out.
Yeah.
You feel good about this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
Do you feel it was a cathartic?
Yeah.
Okay, good, man. Hey, one day at a time. Are you doing one of these interviews every day? I
haven't done one every day. I put a video up every day. They're not always interviews. Sometimes it's just me talking.
Okay.
But I'm going to be doing a shitload of them coming up.
This is good. I'm glad you're doing this.
I'm glad that you could be here for this.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
You got anything you want to plug in the fort plug?
Arguments Grievances.
Yeah.
.com. Yeah.
Sweet.
If you're watching this, especially if you watched it this long, you already know what that is. But that's my baby. That's my favorite thing I do right now. So.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's hug it out, dude.
Buddy.
Well,
thanks, man.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah, let's high five.